You know how they say, be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it? Well, that's exactly what this week reminded me of. For weeks, I've been praying for a breakthrough in my need for control. I've been praying for more patience, more grace, more surrender. And this week, while my kids were at VBS, I had every intention of knocking out all of the lingering tasks on my to-do list before homeschool begins. I had a plan. I had a schedule. And I was ready to finally feel accomplished, content, and prepared. But how I hoped this week would go and how it actually went were not at all what I expected. And yet, somehow, I think I'm better for it. Because what felt like a week that went entirely wrong ended up being exactly what God knew was right. And that's what I want to share with you today. Because maybe by the end of this, it will be a message you didn't even realize you needed. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Amy, and I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom of 3 little boys. And I'm also a recovering perfectionist. I've spent most of my life relying on control to mask my insecurities and anxiety. But a few years ago, God started showing me the ways I had been trying to carry things that were never mine to carry. Slowly but surely, He began calling me back to Him. And one day, I finally listened. Ever since then, I've been on this messy, beautiful journey of learning to surrender every aspect of my life to the Lord. And the thing is, it hasn't been easy, especially in motherhood. Sometimes it feels like I'm a toddler again, trying to raise other toddlers. I'm learning patience while simultaneously being asked for something every 5 minutes. I'm learning grace while refereeing sibling arguments. I'm learning surrender while trying to keep 3 little boys alive and somehow maintain a functioning home and marriage. And through all of it, I felt the enemy trying to pull me back into the very things God has been teaching me to surrender. Shame, guilt, discouragement, control. And this week was no exception. Truly, if not for His mercy, I don't know where I'd be. And I don't say that to sound dramatic. I say it because it's simply the truth. I need saving from myself because I can pray all day long to become a patient, graceful, compassionate Christian mother. But the honest truth is, I don't know how to become her. And maybe that's the point. Because God doesn't ask us to become stronger in our own strength. He invites us to become dependent on His. Sometimes He answers our prayers by giving us exactly what we wanted. And sometimes He answers them by putting us in situations that reveal just how much we still need Him. Going into this week, I had every intention of knocking out my to-do list and ending the week feeling accomplished and prepared. I realized my boys were going to be at VBS for 3 hours each day. And before Monday even rolled around, I was already mentally calculating when and where I was going to allocate my time so I could get it all done. I had a plan, and then God stepped in. Every day I had my own intentions, my own will, my own idea of what needed to happen. And then there was His. I would set out to accomplish something, and it felt like every single time something went wrong. The baby would fuss and need me to sit down and hold him when I wanted to be up and moving. My boys would get into a fight and need discipline or one-on-one time with me. Things weren't ready when I thought they would be. It would rain when I was hoping for sunshine. A Facebook Marketplace pickup would fall through. My grocery pickup got delayed. Little things, one after another. And at first, all I could see were the obstacles. I was frustrated, discouraged, and if I'm being completely honest, I was irritated with God. Because I thought, Lord, didn't I ask you to help me get all of this done? But then, one morning while I was reading my Bible, it hit me. I was acting just like the Israelites. Without even realizing it, I had allowed vanity and productivity to become more important than obedience. My plans had become more important than His presence. Getting things done had become more important than living out the fruits of the Spirit. I had prayed for patience, and then I was frustrated when God gave me opportunities to practice it. I had prayed for surrender, and then I was upset when He interrupted my plans. I had prayed for freedom from control, and then became angry when I couldn't control my circumstances. And suddenly, when I looked back at my week through that lens, I started seeing things I had completely missed. That unexpected hour-long visit with a lonely widow who shares my love for quilts. The conversation where she told me about her family and her late husband and encouraged me in homeschooling. The hour I spent sanding my hutch in the garage after walking the baby in the stroller until he finally fell asleep. The stores I didn't get to, the things I wasn't able to buy, but instead I ended up decluttering bags and boxes because I realized something. It wasn't an organizing problem, it was an inventory problem. And maybe that was the bigger lesson. I thought I needed to accomplish more, but maybe I needed to release more. I thought I needed to get everything in order, but maybe God was trying to put something in me back in order. What I thought was a week of failure turned out to be a week of sowing seeds I didn't even know needed to be planted. Seeds of patience, seeds of contentment, seeds of obedience, seeds of relationship, seeds of surrender. I thought my will would lead me where I needed to go. But my will was actually what was leaving me feeling lost the entire time. And I think we underestimate just how weak we truly are as human beings. We like to think we're strong, capable, independent. We make our lists and our plans and our schedules, and we convince ourselves that if we can just get everything under control, then we'll finally have peace. But the truth is, I cannot manufacture peace through productivity. I cannot create patience through willpower. I cannot become the woman God is calling me to be by trying harder. Only strength I have is the strength He mercifully sustains me with. And I am so thankful that He continues to pour it out over and over again. Because sometimes His greatest gifts don't look like blessings when they first arrive. Sometimes they look like interruptions, delays, closed doors, messy moments, plans that fall apart, and prayers that seem to be answered in ways we never would have chosen. But maybe that's because God isn't nearly as concerned with making our week go according to plan as He is with making us more like Him. And that changes everything. So if you're in a season right now where nothing seems to be going the way you planned, maybe pause before you call it failure. Maybe that interruption is an invitation. Maybe that delay is protection. Maybe that closed door is redirection. Maybe the thing you're asking God to remove is actually the very thing He's using to grow you. And maybe the prayer you've been afraid to pray, Lord, make me more patient. Lord, teach me to surrender. Lord, help me trust you, is already being answered. It just may not look the way you thought it would. Because sometimes God answers our prayers by changing our circumstances. But sometimes He answers them by changing us. And honestly, I think that's what happened to me this week. My to-do list didn't get finished. My week didn't go according to plan. I didn't accomplish nearly as much as I thought I would. But maybe I accomplished something far more important. Maybe I learned just a little bit more how to let go, how to be present, how to trust, how to receive the interruptions instead of resenting them, how to choose Him over my own agenda. And maybe that's the breakthrough I've been praying for all along. So friend, if your week or your season feels like it's going entirely wrong right now, I want to encourage you not to be so quick to assume that God has forgotten you. He may be doing something you simply cannot see yet. The thing you call an interruption may be divine appointment. The thing you call a setback may be sanctification. And the thing you call a wasted day may be the very place God is quietly doing His deepest work. So be careful what you pray for, because when you ask God to make you more patient, He may give you something that requires patience. When you ask Him to teach you surrender, He may take your plans out of your hands. And when you ask Him to make you more like Jesus, He may lovingly lead you through the very circumstances that reveal how much you still need Him. And maybe we don't need to be afraid of that. Maybe we can trust that the God who answered the prayer knows exactly what He's doing, even when we don't. Because at the end of the day, I don't want a perfectly productive life. I want a surrendered one. I don't want everything to go according to my plan. I want to know that my life is going according to His. And if that means some weeks look nothing like I expected, then Lord, let them. Have your way. Teach me. Prune me. Change me. And give me the grace to recognize that what feels like everything going wrong may actually be you leading me exactly where I need to go. Thank you so much for being here, friends. And if this video spoke to you, I'd love for you to like this video, share it with another mom who might need this reminder, and subscribe if you'd like to be part of this little community. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.